Greetings, programs. My name is Wretch, and I'd like to welcome you to a very special retrospective playthrough. It's been a while, hasn't it? This is probably going to be a two-parter, but it is definitely going to be worth it. This is one of my favorite games, period. This was the very first point-and-click adventure game that LucasArts games ever came out with. And if you know anything about LucasArts games, you know their point-and-click adventure games are numerous and awesome. But this was a game that tortured me when I was a child. I loved playing it, and I'm looking forward to playing it again. I don't know if I remember everything, but a lot of it is probably going to come back to me. And this is one of the... oh, hell's bells. Copyright 1990, a quarter of a century ago, 25 years. But guys, this is Maniac Mansion. Now, the premise of this game is very simple. There is a girl by the name of Sandy, and she's been kidnapped by the mad scientist, Dr. Fred Edison, who lives in a rundown mansion along with his weird family, consisting of Nurse Edna, Weird Ed, and Dead Cousin Ted. And this right here is Dave. Hello, Dave. Sandy's boyfriend and organizer of her rescue. Dave goes into the mansion with two other of his friends in order to rescue Sandy and find out what exactly is going on in the mansion. Now here's who you can choose from, and each kid has their own special ability, which helps to basically beat the game. First off is Razor, leader of the band Razor and the Scumettes. She can play music, and that leads to a very specific ending for her and for one other. Then you have Bernard, who's the Geek Award winner and Physics Club president. He can fix things using a set of tools that we find later in the game. He has his own unique way of winning. Then we have Sid, an aspiring musician who hopes to start his own band. He actually has the best music in the game, in my opinion. And he's a musician very similar to to Razor. Next up is Wendy, who's waiting for her first big break as a novelist. She has her own unique way of winning, involving a manuscript. Then there's poor Jeff here. Lives on the beach and answers to Surfer Dude. Jeff can do one thing in the game, and that's his only special skill. I think he's pretty much useless. He's pretty much just a backup character. And then, there's Michael, the ace photographer for the college newspaper. He can use a camera and develop film, and he has his own unique way to beat the game. But for the purposes of this playthrough, I think we're going to go with Razor and Bernard. Razor here just was very unique for the cover art of the game, and Bernard... he actually appears in the sequel to this game, The Awesome Day of the Tentacle. So, let's go ahead and give this a go. Now, you can check this out. Now, this game actually came out, Maniac Mansion came out for computers in 1987. It was ported to Nintendo in 1990. And there were a few changes in the Nintendo port. Maniac Mansion was originally had some blood and some suggestive elements and language, I think. But they had to go ahead and edit that out because it was a Nintendo game. And there's Bernard trying to run off. But what it took away in terms of the content, in my opinion, made up. It has some of the best music on the entire Nintendo. Any Nintendo game ever, this has some of the best. So you had to trade in one good thing for one awesome thing. So I'll go ahead and call that good. And this gives you a hint right now on how to enter the mansion. Look for a key under the doormat. And you have to think a little bit outside the box, which was very odd for lots of Nintendo games. And you can see here, I'm just moving this around with the controller, so it's basically like a mouse. It's just pretty much a port. And we have the option to push, pull, give, open, close, go to, get, use, read, switch between the kids, and turn on and turn off things. So let's go ahead and for an example here, and it says read sign. Warning. Trespassers will be horribly mutilated. We have been warned, haven't we? So, now, I have played this game a lot, guys. An awful lot. And I know where a lot of stuff is, where a lot of secrets are. I don't know how long this is. I know this is going to probably take about 2 episodes. But we'll just see what happens. First thing that we do is we pull the doormat, and here's the key to the mansion, so we're going to get that. And then use the key in the front door, and we are good. Now, here's where it gets a little bit tricky. And this leads to the kitchen. Right now, Nurse Edna, Dr. Fred's wife, who is a bit kinky and psychotic, is in the kitchen getting something from the fridge. What we need to do is get enough into the screen that she starts chasing after us, and then haul butt back here to the door. She won't follow us outside of the kitchen. She'll actually despawn. So, check out that lovely chainsaw and flashlight. So, right around here... Okay. Flee! Flee, 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 flee. No, it's a lie. She does not want to give us food. There we go. Now we just head back in here. And she is gone. It's a weird little bug. I'd like to think that she took a secret entrance or something, but now we can get all the things. We need to get this flashlight. And we have stuff like the microwave oven and the stove, but this game is infamous for red herrings, things that look cool that we think that we should get that we can't use. A prime one being this chainsaw with all the blood smears on, on the wall. The chainsaw looks like something that we'd want, but there's no way to actually turn it on because it's out of gas, and we can't get gas in the game. So we're just going to leave it there to look all intimidating. Now, we're going to open the fridge, and we've got some cheese, old batteries, lettuce, a can of Pepsi, TM, and broken bottles of ketchup. So we need the cheese. Can't take the fridge, Dave. There, we'll get that going. And we need the can of soda. And we're good. And I'm going to close the refrigerator door because that's how I was taught. And let's go ahead. This leads to the dining room, if I recall. Now, the thing about this game is that randomly other stuff will happen. We've got a gravy stain, an old rotting turkey, a week-old roast, so obviously the dining room has not been used. We don't need to pick any of that stuff up. Go here through the door. Now we have tentacle chow, and that sounds very odd, but that will be explained here a little bit later. A bottle of developer. That would be important if we had Mike. Oh. Now that is Weird Ed, the paramilitary nut. Now, if any of the members of the family catch you, they throw you into the mansion's dungeon. I should have mentioned that earlier. There is a way out of the dungeon, but until you actually get a key to the dungeon proper, it basically means that you are one less a kid to utilize for the purposes of the game. So he's heading to the kitchen, so we have to make sure that Dave and all the other kids are out of the kitchen and out of the way to the kitchen. So we've got some canned goods. I don't think that we need those. Fruit drinks we do need, so let's go ahead and get those. Oh. There he goes. And he is upset because the cheese is gone, which we have snatched from him. So we'll get the fruit drinks, and he has the glass jar there. We'll get the glass jar. And we don't need the developer, the tentacle chow, or the canned goods. Now we could try and open this door. Unfortunately, it's locked. I know where the key is, but it's going to be a little bit before we can get that. But now that Ed has been dealt with, and sometimes it takes the game a second to catch up with the walking, we do have to utilize a secret entrance. And one thing that you know that Ed and them have been through because they always close the doors behind them. Because they are polite people. We, however, are not. Now, that's the way up. That's where Ed came from, to the upper levels of the mansion. And you notice that this door does not have a handle, so we can't get into it quite yet. But we will. So, we will go ahead and open this door. And this is just basically kind of a sitting room. And we've got a cassette player here, an old-fashioned radio. Can we actually turn on the old-fashioned radio? And there's no station going on, so we can go ahead and turn that off. Now we need to come back into this room a little bit later because there is a key right on top of the chandelier. How the key got on top of the chandelier, we'll never know. Those weird Edisons. But let's open here. Now this room contains one of the worst red herrings, I think, in video game history. And we have a lamp here, we'll turn that on. This is the library. And you see this stairway going up. We actually cannot go up there, and here's a sign that we can read. Staircase out of order. Now, when we find the tools, there's tons of ways that I tried. There is no way to go up this stairwell. It's just here to taunt you and distract you. So, yeah, this game is really good with those. Now, here is a phone. I believe it's broken right now. Yeah, we're going to have to get the tools for that, which is why we have Bernard with us. And you saw that loose panel. And there's a cassette tape. And we definitely will need that. And right up here is Chuck the Plant, who has been in quite a few LucasArts games. And can we get Chuck the Plant? We can't pick up Chuck, so he's just going to sit here pretty in the library. Thank you, Chuck. Now, no one's going to be coming downstairs here for quite some time. I'll tell you, speaking of that, I'm going to switch over to Razor. And Razor is going... randomly, sometime during the game, the doorbell... Oh. Here's Dr. Fred. And there's Sandy. Along with a map of the mansion. Going to remove Sandy's brains. Yep, we sure will. We're working on that right now. You and your meteor can eat slime. Twirl mustache. Now, basically what's happened here is Dr. Fred and the family have been taken over by, or not basically Dr. Fred. Edna and Weird Ed, not so much, but they have been taken over by an evil alien meteor. So, we need to basically get rid of that meteor before the diabolical plan happens. Now, the reason I have Razor here in the house is, first off, you see these gargoyles on the stairway? We're going to push a gargoyle, and that secret door opens. And we'll switch over to Dave. And there's nothing really left for him here, as of yet. Go to nuclear reactor. Not so much. But we are going to turn on this light switch. And you can see all the fun stuff we have here. The typical in the basement of any red-blooded American home. And I think that this door... yeah, we need a glowing key. This is the way to Dr. Fred's lab. But we will go ahead and get this key right here. The silver key. And the circuit breakers, which I don't think we can mess with right now because they are broken. So we need to get the tools for Bernard, who is still outside, chillin'. Which I'm sure he is very pleased about, being the cowardly character that he is. So Dave's going to head up here. Now, then we're going to get Razor to wait out near the mailbox, because a mailman is going to come with a package that we're going to need a little bit later to earn one of the bad guys' trust. There we go. Now, this steel security door, in other versions of the game for computer, you had to put in a certain combination that came in the booklet, I believe. Otherwise, the mansion would blow up and it would be game over. It was basically a copyright protection. Here's a painting of Fred and a painting of Edna. And this is... the painting room. Yes. What we definitely need to get is this bowl of wax fruit. And I'm not sure about the paintbrush, but we do definitely need the paint remover. And there's nothing else here that we can really get, but you notice there was something modeling up here. And it looks like the painting was only half done. So we'll go in here. And we've got ourselves a piano, a vase, a Victrola, cassette recorder. Here's a broken record, but there's nothing. Let's actually read the broken record. It says Loom soundtrack album. Loom was another LucasArts game. Let's watch some TV. Hi, all you budding writers, musicians, and game designers. You're on channel 13. What a lovely Picard style. I'm Mark Eater. My company publishes anything. Just mail it to the address shown below. Don't forget the stamp. You pay shipping and handling. Thank you. Now that's important if we wanted to do the game ending with Razor, but we're actually going to try and go for Bernard's ending. So let's go ahead and head over here and open the big steel door. And we are getting a good portion of this mansion discovered. With a Napoleon hat, obviously a Edison ancestor. And we're in the dark again. Let's see. Oh, I saw a desk lamp. There we go. So we've got a blackboard, desk, Mail a Med diploma, Docs R Us diploma, and a real human skeleton. Oh, that's scary. Yes, indeed. I know a friend of mine who actually has one of those. Read the medical chart. And we got a diagram of some brains here. Pretty brains. Now inside this desk is a manuscript, which is pretty much useless, but if we had Wendy with us, that would actually be crucial for her victory. So we're going to head over here to my favorite room in the mansion, and also a red herring room. Maybe we actually get the door open. There we are, the arcade room. We've got Video Fever, Alien Slime, Meteor Mess, Disco Crazy, and Tuna Diver. Ugh. But we can't really play any of those. And here is Weird Ed with Nurse Edna, and we're in Nurse Edna's room right now. Now, I could try and do their voices, but I remember their voices from Day of the Tentacle, and I don't think I could do them justice. But you do notice that in this room, there is a little red key on her nightstand, which we do have to try and get. That's the only thing in this room that we actually need to get. Everything else, pretty much useless to our cause, but that key and that ladder there on the far right is definitely needed. And poor Ed is very frustrated with his mom. Poor guy. Now we do have to come back here a little bit later, because Dr. Fred heads in here to blow some steam. And we head upstairs and meet one of the other kooky denizens of the mansion. Hello there, Green Tentacle. Feed me and you can pass. So you could feed him all kinds of different things. He just gets hungry. It doesn't really appease his appetite. So what you need to give him, which apparently is his favorite food, is the bowl of wax fruit. Wow, my favorite. That's what I wanted. Now, if you try and go through here, where's my drink? Now, we cannot give him the Pepsi. The Pepsi is going to be needed a little bit later. So we're going ahead and give him the fruit drinks. Thanks! And disappears within the lovely plant. Now, I'm trying to remember what this room was. And the enlarger. Oh, this is the dark room. Yeah. There's nothing in here for us, but if we had Michael in the party, this is where, once we found film, we could go ahead and develop it. So that's good to know. And you see Green Tentacle has headed off. His bark is far worse than his bite. Now we have to be very careful on this floor because this is where Ed and Edna's rooms are. We'll head in here. Now I believe this is Dr. Fred's room. Yeah, there's a picture of Nurse Edna over the bed. They're a very old school family. And there's a dime on the ground. We need to get that. Now I'm not even going to bother with this stuff now. We've got a tube socket and a high-tech radio. That's going to be for Bernard. And a wanted poster for the meteor, which Bernard is going to have to read. Now we'll head up this ladder. And here's Green Tentacle. And he is not happy. Oh, I'm so depressed. He does have a surfer voice in the Day of the Tentacle. I'm never going to get my band started. My life is going nowhere. I'm never going to amount to anything. He's got some good speakers. Eating all that food didn't even help. So what are you going to do about it? Oh, you're just going to sulk in the corner? Alright, fine. So we got some posters, a picture of Mom. Let's read that. To my slimiest son, love Mom. And we have a record here, which is tentacle mating calls, and we do need to get that. Not for the reason you think, though. And there is a yellow key. So we get that. Now we're almost done with our business up here. And we actually are going to do, in my opinion, one of the funnest things in video game history, because it was so... you so had to use your brain in this game, which in a different way than you did in normal Nintendo games. So we go in here. Now those two rooms that we passed were Edna's and Weird Ed's room. So we're going to switch over to Razor and check this out. We are going to... Now this is going to get us locked out of the mansion, unfortunately, but that's okay. We are going to use the doorbell. And that's going to get Ed's attention. Oh, the doorbell. Now he's wondering if that's his package that he's been waiting for. So we wait for just a few seconds here. Switch back to Dave. And we go out this door. And we sneak in, and we got a limited amount of time to do this. We're going to get the hamster. We're going to get the piggy bank. We gotta hurry, hurry, hurry. And we broke the piggy bank, and he is about to work his way up here. Can't you read the sign? He actually talked like Igor in Day of the Tentacle. Okay, now we're locked out, but we have to hurry, so we need to get all the dimes. Quickly. If we had a... Okay. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Now, if he sees you, he will follow you. So I think we're in good shape now. And just in case, we'll close the door. And look, check this out. Sarcophagus. This is actually Dead Cousin Ted's room, believe it or not. And here is Ted's room, complete with pillow and TV. And here is the Hunk-O-Matic machine, trademark. We need to use this so our character can actually get stronger. We got to pump you up. And we have to use this 3 times in order for him to get his strength up max. So 2 more times. 3 sets. I've had enough? No, you have not had enough. Not until I say so. Uno mas. There we go. Fortunately, he does not pass out. There we go. Now, this is the only bathroom in the entire mansion, so... we will open the door. And we have to come back here in a second. But there's a sponge. We don't need a sponge. Cracked mirror. Let's say hello to dead cousin Ted. Hello, Ted. How are you? Ted is a mummy, and that's pretty much what he does. But we need the number that he is hiding behind, the call Edna. So we need to head back here, because the shower does not have a faucet on it, you see. And Ed should be back in his room. Yep, the door is closed. And let's head in here. First off. Actually, I think one of the things we need to do regarding in here... Let's go into the bathroom real quick. And... sink. Oh, we need to get water from downstairs in the kitchen faucet. So there's really no reason to head in there yet, but I'll let you guys see it just to kind of show you. And here's the kooky family. Oh! Okay, razor. And here's the package. So let's get the package before Ed gets to it. Indeed, again. But these are the droids you're looking for, but the droids will not be here. Oh, I forgot to get the card key. It's behind the hamster. Let's go to Dave real quick. Okay, we've got to hurry. And get that card key. I can't believe I forgot the card key. I bet some people who had played this game before were screaming at me like, "You forgot the card key, Wretch!" There we go. Whew. No one out here but punk rockers. Now get out of here. You ain't gonna do nothing. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and hurry back to that room that we were in before Ed gets back. There we go. Now here is pot for the plant and the like super angry plant. And you can actually feed this plant all kinds of different stuff. Here's the typewriter, which could be used to write the manuscript if we had Wendy. But what we actually need is the paint remover. We got this paint blotch right here. And let's see, used paint remover. Da-na-na-na. Or no, that's the wrong tune. It's a da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And now we are in the dark, so let's see what we can turn on here. Scary. But we've got some wires here. And I think these are the ones that we have to use the tools on. I'm not sure. But can we open the boarded up window? Boards won't budge, even with his Hunko-matic machine. But Ed should be back in his room. Is the door closed? Yes. So we shouldn't have to worry about Ed or Edna suddenly leaving for the rest of the game, I don't believe. So let's head this way. Now we have to head back down through the dining room to that yellow door. Now, oh, I forgot he closed this. Now what I'm curious about is if you played this game on the computer and they kept on going back and forth and closing the doors behind them, is if you had to keep on putting codes in, basically forcing you to keep on looking through the manual. And let's go ahead and open the front door so we can send our guys back through. Oh, actually, this would be a good time. We're going to head outside and give other kids some of our items. And actually, looking at the clock, this seems like a good place to stop, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it here, and we'll finish up next time. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video and this awesome game. If you liked the video, go ahead and click like down below, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help, and we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.